This lesson is designed to introduce you to the concept of integrated marketing communications, or IMC. And it is also designed to introduce you to some key ideas that you'll need to know and understand in order to be successful in this course this month. We'll start with some fundamental concepts regarding marketing in general, and then focus specifically on IMC. The marketing function within an organization is often viewed as four distinct functions, which you may have heard referred to as the 4 P's of marketing. Those 4 P's are product, price, place, and promotion. Our focus this month will be on promotion, which is sometimes also known as communication. For now, though, let's briefly look at the other 3 elements. When we talk about product, we think about all of the decisions that go into designing the product or service for the customer. What size or sizes should the product be? We consider packaging issues, but we also consider features that go into the product as well. When we think about a smartphone, for example, there's a product management or product marketing function that considers the features that go into the latest iPhone or Galaxy. Will it have a built-in camera with higher resolution? Will it include GPS capabilities already built into the phone? All of these issues are managed as part of the overall product management function. Now, price is fairly self-explanatory as it ultimately leads to decisions about how the product should be priced. It also, however, ties into certain strategic decisions. Some companies, for example, will deliberately charge higher prices in order to support an overall marketing strategy that positions the product for an exclusive clientele. So in some cases, even though a company might increase their sales and still make a profit by reducing their price, they've made a strategic decision that they want the product positioned as an exclusive or high-end product, and therefore make a strategic decision to continue to charge a higher price. Those kinds of decisions all fall within the price element of the marketing function within a company. When we consider place, we certainly need to think about where the customer can purchase the product. But it's more than just deciding on which stores are going to carry your product and in which region. Place, sometimes known as distribution, will also consider selling in stores versus selling online. It also has to consider decisions as whether or not to sell your product through retailers or having your own company-owned retail shop to sell directly to consumers. That brings us to the 4th P, which is promotion. In some instances, as I mentioned, this is also referred to as communication. This is where all the communication strategies and tactics are developed for a marketing plan. And as we will see, marketing communications is more than just advertising and public relations. When we look at the different elements that make up the promotional mix, it's important to understand that experts have different ways of identifying and defining the components of the promotional mix. But it is these components that can be used for an IMC campaign. For our purposes and for this class, we're going to use the 6 elements or the 6 components that are shown here. These 6 little yellow boxes are the components available to you when developing an IMC campaign. Again, others may look at this differently and use different terminology or may have different ways of categorizing these functions. Some experts, for example, don't consider personal selling to be an IMC function, and others believe that direct marketing doesn't belong as part of the IMC mix either. Lesson 1.2 will look and explain each of these individual components more thoroughly. For this lesson, though, we're focusing on integrated marketing communication at a high level with a broad overview and introduction. So for now, I just want to make 2 observations about these 6 little yellow boxes. First, you'll notice that sales promotion is identified as one possible component of the promotional mix or the promotional function of marketing. In other words, sales promotion and promotion have 2 different meanings when discussed within the context of IMC. Second, I want to stress the integrated in integrated marketing communications. An IMC, or integrated marketing communications campaign, is designed to coordinate and integrate the tasks that are being developed by different groups within the marketing department. These different groups are the 6 little yellow boxes. It may seem crazy, but there are actually organizations where, for example, the advertising department is off doing its own thing, and the public relations department, a completely separate department, is taking care of its own goals, objectives, and strategies, but the 2 departments aren't coordinating or working together. The idea behind integrated marketing communications is to utilize more than one of the elements of the promotional mix and to do so in a coordinated fashion. So hopefully this diagram and explanation gives you a good perspective of what IMC is. But just to reinforce the idea, I want to discuss for a minute what IMC is not. IMC is not coordinating and integrating different types of media into one campaign. Now, don't get me wrong. In many campaigns, it is appropriate to use different types of media, and it will be important to coordinate all those media. However, if I develop a campaign that relies on TV and radio commercials, billboards, banner ads on the internet, that is not an integrated marketing communications campaign. It's an advertising campaign that relies on multiple forms of media. In other words, it's a multimedia advertising campaign. Now, we'll look at different media later this month, but it's important to understand early in this course that this, what you see on the screen, is not integrated marketing. The example on this screen is an example of a campaign that utilizes only one of those integrated marketing communications components, only one of those 6 little yellow boxes. So as such, you're not integrating other communications components with the advertising component. So now we've got a basic understanding of what IMC is and is not. Keep in mind that an IMC campaign is based on the idea of successfully integrating or coordinating more than one element of the promotional mix. Those elements, the 6 little yellow boxes, will be important for the remainder of this course. In the next lesson, we'll look more closely at each one of these elements.